Hi, I'm Teresa Chang.
Hi, I'm Marianne McCara.
Hi, I'm Felicia Grant Cummings.
Hi, I'm Kim Johnson with Moms Navigating Autism. Hi, I'm Kim Johnson.
Hi, I'm Marianne McCara.
Hi, I'm Teresa Chang.
Welcome to Moms Navigating Autism. So, the holidays can be a challenging time for every family, but sometimes especially so if you have a child with special needs.
Yeah, definitely. They can't always adapt to the change real quickly. Some people, they have to do different things. And, you know, I actually have a friend, her child couldn't adapt to the change. So what she would do is she would show them pictures in magazines and start playing the Christmas movies so they'd see the houses all decorated. And then what they did was then during that time she would take him shopping for the Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. So that, because she wanted to include him, you know. And then what she did after that was the child would see the tree on top of the car, so she'd leave the tree up there for a day, and then the following day she would bring the tree in and put it up and leave it bare in the living room. And so the child got kind of used to seeing it in the living room, and then the following day she put the lights up.
So what worked for her was doing this in stages.
In stages.
It was change.
Right, it was
with
gradually
slow,
happening.
Slow stages.
Right. And essentially, you know, then the next day they would decorate it, and you know, it worked. You know, he accepted the gradual change, and which was good. You know, but not all kids could do that. But this particular child did, and he accepted the change. In fact, I actually saw her about 2 years ago, and she said to me, you know, she was going home to decorate the tree. I said, "Oh, are you still doing it in stages?" She says, "No, because he's 18 now, and so he's gotten used to Christmas time." And so, in fact, she said somewhere when he was about 10 or 11, he said to her, "Mom, you know, we don't have to wait to put the tree up. You could just bring it in." And so, and she was she said, "I was so excited that we could do that." Mm-hmm. So she went and she brought it in. They decorated it. It was kind of cute, actually. But yeah.
I mean, I remember there were a number of years where our son would just knock the Christmas tree over, which, as you can imagine, would create a lot of havoc, broken ornaments, and, you know, water spilled over the carpet. So what we did was position the tree in the corner, and then by the use of like strings or sort of like fishing line, we would attach it to the corner in the wall.
Right.
So that the tree was essentially made
to the wall.
Stationary.
Right.
So that it could not be knocked over. Yeah. It's not a difficulty anymore, but at the time that was the solution that we found for tree getting knocked over, you know, ornaments breaking. Of course, we had already, by that time, we'd already switched over to non-breakable ornaments. Yeah. The glass ornaments, they had to go away for a while.
Right.
They're back out now, so things do change. Right. But for that time period, you know, stationary tree, non-breakable ornaments.
My son pulled the tree over once by accident. He didn't go to knock it over. He was trying to take an ornament off the tree, but it was on there pretty good. So when I was coming up the stairs, I just saw the tree. And he was sitting on the couch, so it was on top of him. I'm like, oh my God, but everything was still attached to it. The ornament was running, so I just tilted it back up. But he was just trying to take something off of it. Because he didn't know. He's like, hey, I want that. I recognize that. I like that. He just pulled it, the whole thing.
One year, I have these beads on my tree, right? And so every year I pull them out, and because of the way we roll them up to put them away, they always get tangled up. So I took an hour and I unraveled them and I had them all perfect. And my son was around, I want to say 2, and he came all of a sudden and he was playing with them. And now here I am, I'm positioning the tree with my husband and I'm trying to, and then I turn around and I see him in the middle of the beads going like this, and I'm like, oh my God. I just unraveled those things. And then my husband was like, oh, I gotta take a picture of this. So he went and took pictures, and I'm like, I just unraveled those.
That sort of thing can be frustrating.
Yeah, but it was cute,
Yeah.
it was. I was like, I just unraveled those.
I know that there have been times when I've spent quite a bit of time in the kitchen, let's say, preparing a meal in anticipation of, all of us sitting around the table and enjoying the meal. And sometimes that does not always work out. I mean, I would have one child starting to cry, and the other would be set off by the crying because noise was a great irritant at that point, and my son just couldn't tolerate the noise. So instead of this happy Hallmark dinner I was trying to prepare for, I had 2 children completely melting down.
Wow.
And at that point I had to say, well, I did my best, and everyone's crying, and I just have to try to sort of like make the best of it.
When we do holiday dinners, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever, if I'm having the family over, what I do is I have my son stay upstairs watching his TV, and then everybody comes in. It gets noisy when everybody's coming in, saying hello. The kids over the years, the babies that have come, grown in different stages of the family growing up. Everybody comes in, makes a noise, we sit, we start to eat and everything. Then I get my son, I bring him down, I say, look, everybody's here. And then he kind of eases his way in. He knows he wants to go sit at the table because he's hungry. And then he kind of just melts into the group. So that seems to work for us. I bring him in when it starts to calm down just a little bit. It doesn't quite calm down all the way in my family, but I bring him in. And then he kind of hangs out. And, it depends. It depends on his mood, what sound's going to set him off that day. And he just kind of chills for a little while, and then when he has enough, he lets you know he's ready to go upstairs. So we follow his cue.
Right.
Well, I come from a Hispanic family, right? And so my tradition growing up was having Christmas Eve. We open our presents at midnight, and we'd have dinner and everything, and so Christmas Eve was when we opened our presents. So like Christmas Day, when I think like here in the United States, most people open their presents on Christmas morning and stuff. So it was easier for me and my husband because, we do Christmas Eve with my family and do Christmas Day with his family, right? And then my in-laws moved to Florida and everybody just kind of dispersed. And so I had, my son was on the spectrum, and I was always kind of a little leery about going to other people's houses because they tend to bring out all their best stuff, and I could see my son going, ooh, that's nice, and oops, that fell, So what I would do is, so we kind of like build our own tradition. We'd get up, my husband, we'd open our presents here, and then we'd just keep our pajamas on the whole day. That became our tradition,
I like that tradition.
And I actually,
more relaxed.
this year I said to my son, I said, okay, my niece and her daughter, who's also my godchild, are coming up. They're going to be staying with us. So we're going to do Christmas Eve with, my side of the family, and then we'll do Christmas morning. They're going to be here. We'll still do their Christmas morning where we open up the presents and stuff. But that means that we're not spending the day in our pajamas because we're going to have people come over for. And he's like, right now he's like, but that's not what we always do. And I was like, yeah, but this year we're gonna do it that way because we have a lot more people. Don't you want to see them? They they live down in Florida. They're going to be staying with us, and he's like, I don't think he's liking it, but I think he's kind of accepting it. you know, like he's not going to be wearing, you know. And I was like, you know, you can wear your pajamas up until we have to go, you know, or we have to go. We're going to go to Christmas mass, because that's what the other thing is. We weren't going to Christmas mass on Christmas anymore. And he was like, well, and so I don't know where we're going with this, but I'll let you know.
People wear pajamas out in public, so.
This is true.
This is true.
We had, oh please, last year we always wear the same pajamas.
Are they matching pajamas?
It's matching pajamas. And last year the dog had a matching pajama.
Oh, how cute.
I took I bought him an actual outfit, and then I sewed it together with the help of the lady that owns our house, and we made him a matching coat for him, or a t-shirt, so he matches the pajama that we had. But yeah.
Well, our son doesn't understand the spiritual nature of the holiday, but he does enjoy some aspects of it, like being at home with his brothers and eating holiday meals, turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and baked sweet potatoes. So I think we have to try to sort of meet our children where they are and help them to have an enjoyable holiday. It may not be what our ideal is, but, you know, meet our children where they are and, you know, find something that's enjoyable for them. Find what they enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It is. It's been some adjusting, you know, and I'm kind of rocking the boat this year, but we'll see.
That's why everybody comes to us, because it's just easier for my son when everybody comes to me. Plus, I enjoy it as like a holiday for me. I think Christmas. I like to do the cooking, have everybody over.
Right.
So, you know, and then I'm right there with him. So, like, if, you know, he's going to act up or have a behavior or something's going to happen with him, he can go to his own space. There's somewhere
Right.
for him to go so that
Yeah.
I could finish and continue enjoying with my family, hanging out and
Right.
doing stuff. And it's only my immediate family, so it's not like, I mean, although the sisters, brothers, cousins, and we are a big group, but a loud group, but, you know, we still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there have been times when we've been visiting with family and our son is clearly not in a great place, not happy, doesn't want to be there. So there have been some times when we have said, listen, we can't, you know, we have to take him home. We'd love to stay longer, but we really can't. So then we, you know, just head back home. It's, you know, yeah.
How is that with your other sons? Because they're wanting to stay and enjoy the holiday and spend time with family, or they're just like, going to use them as an excuse, we're out?
No, I don't think so. They understand. They understand that their older brother has issues and that perhaps he doesn't tolerate noise as well as they do, and perhaps he doesn't have the same takeaway from the holiday as they do. And what may be pleasant for them might be difficult for their older brother.
Right.
So I think they've
learned to
they've
adjust,
learned
and
to
they know.
adjust
Right.
and be understanding and say, you know, okay, you know, we don't want him to melt down completely. So let's just, you know, cut our losses and, you know, just go home.
Yeah, so that's kind of like with my niece. That's why we keep our small little group. It's my nieces, nephew, my sister, her kids, and they all know him. They know how he is, and so it's, you know, it's a comfortable environment for us with him. So whether it's not in my house or at my house, so.
Right. Even when we go to my sister's for Christmas Eve. He feels at home. You know, with cousins and everything. That much he's gotten pretty much down pat, but it's you know, it's when I do things like this year, like, what do you mean everybody's coming over here? You know.
But change is hard.
Yeah.
I think change is hard for anyone, but I think it's especially hard for a child who's on the spectrum.
I mean, us adults not on the spectrum, we could say, hey, I do it every year. Christmas Eve is always at my house. What do you mean we're going here? I mean, some of us can't handle that change.
That's difficult.
We're used to our traditions, and well, I want to do it here. Why are we doing it there? You know,
That can
especially when you're
create a lot
married and
of-
have another family too. Like
Right.
Yeah,
there's
it
two
can create
families.
conflict.
That's why it worked
You know,
perfect.
who's
Christmas
doing
Eve was
Christmas?
mine.
Who's doing Christmas? Who's doing Christmas
Right.
Eve? You know.
Yeah. like I said, that's why it was perfect with mine, because we did
Mhm.
Christmas Eve with my family and Christmas Day with
So it was
his family.
split up nicely,
Right.
so no one
Right.
felt like they were
Right,
being
it's like
shortchanged.
we were always,
Yeah.
you know, right, at one or the other.
Mhm.
Yeah, the hardest one is Thanksgiving, you know, because everybody does Thanksgiving at the same
Mhm.
time, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, well, one of the things I want to remind moms and dads is that we know the holidays can be stressful and people are coming from all over the place, whether you're hosting or someone else is hosting. Take the time to relax. Don't get stressed out over it, because I know people that they'll start getting stressed just thinking the holidays are coming and December hasn't even hit.
Mm.
And you don't want to stress yourself out, because that just ends up having bad memories. You know, I've heard families having rows, you know, just over the anxiety. Just, you know, relax. It's a holiday. Try to make it the best that you can.
And it doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. That's
No.
just it. I know we all watch those Hallmark movies. I'll
Yes.
tell you, I watch them. All right, I love them actually, but it's not that
It's
way
not
all
reality.
the time, right?
Yeah.
It's not really. That's
It's
not
an
real.
idealized version.
And it's definitely not a reality for special needs families.
Mhm.
So you have to make it a holiday your way. You know, you have to consider the family you have, the people that are in it, you know, and
With COVID, things
Right.
have changed too, so I don't have as many people over as I did.
Right.
Like I just kept it to my sister and her family and us, because we're always around each other. So having all the cousins, uncles, everybody over, we kind of limited, and this year I'm kind of limiting it also, but, so it's gonna be low key again, but
yeah, no.
trying to make a new tradition with it. I think we're gonna deliver food to like my uncle and stuff, so Kyler likes to look at the lights and things like
Yeah.
that, so it'll be a way for him to go out also. He gets to see the Christmas lights. We're gonna try to change it up and do something and see them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
With our younger sons, my husband typically brings them into the city to see the tree.
Yes.
And when they were younger, I used to bring them to the Christmas tree lighting here in Peekskill.
Mhm.
So that was something that I would do, you know, one-on-one with my sons, that their older brother would not be interested in, but it was something that we could do together,
Mhm.
you know, because I always wanted to make sure too that my younger sons would not feel left out or
Mhm.
somehow neglected, because, you know, their older brother did require a lot of time and attention.
Right.
So I didn't want my younger sons to feel shortchanged during the holiday, so I would always try to make a special effort to do something holiday related with them.
With them. Right.
You know.
We used to make cookies, my son and I. We used to make cookies, and it didn't matter to me whether he was able to make the cookies or not. You know, he would grab some dough and, you know, and as long as he was doing it, it really didn't matter to me. So we'd make cookies and we'd make gingerbread houses, and actually this year I said, well, since, you know, my niece is coming up, I think that, you know, they're arriving on the 18th. I think we're going to have one day where we're going to call your other cousins, because they're all around the same age range. And we're going to make gingerbread houses, and, you know, we're going to do a day. And he's like, you know, I'm like, well, you remember what it was like, so let's head back to that, you know, and we'll see.
my son's not into the whole opening gifts or anything like that at Christmas, so, but, you know, still, like, always make sure there's gifts under the tree. I put them in big bags now, because why am I wrapping it? Because he won't open anything. But I still go, like you're saying, still include, still go through the motions of all those things, all the traditions and everything, even on holidays and birthday and stuff like that. I think it's more for me, doing it for, you know, the stuff for, you know,
Well, even
include in everything, whether he's going to participate or do any of
Yeah.
it.
Well, even when they're younger and they're babies, you're really doing it for you. They don't really understand it. You know, like there's lots of newborn mothers. Oh, I have to take my son to
Take the picture with Santa Claus and stuff
or
like
to the
that.
Christmas tree lighting. That's a baby
Yes,
understand.
the picture with Santa never worked out with our oldest son, and
Right.
it just barely worked out with our younger sons. Because a lot of children do have an aversion to Santa.
They're scared.
You
The
know.
Easter Bunny.
And the Easter Bunny,
yeah.
and all of these.
Every picture you get is like screaming and crying unless they're
Yeah.
really good.
You know. So.
That could be any child.
My son asked Santa for a baby sister one year.
Oh, really?
And Santa said yes.
Oh, dear.
So I went over to Santa and I said, excuse me, how about checking with us before you make these promises? I was like, okay.
Autism Holiday Tip 3. Decorating the house may be disruptive for people on the spectrum. Looking at holiday pictures from previous years can help your autism child prepare for the change. Gradually decorate the house. Put your tree up one day. Hang lights on your tree the next day. And decorate it the following day. All while allowing your autism child to help decorate. This will allow them to accept the changes more easily. A stress and anxiety-free holiday is a good holiday. Remember, always be flexible. However the day goes, it is not a reflection of your parenting skills. The goal is to include your autism child in the festivities. Autism Holiday Tip number 4. Being an autism parent can be extra stressful during the holidays. Take it easy and make time for yourself. Sometimes spending just 15 minutes alone can help. Find something that reduces stress and clears your mind. Slow your breathing and restore inner calm. Remember, things do not have to be perfect. Being flexible will bring less stress and anxiety. A calmer autism child. And happy holiday memories.
And Regina Mail for allowing us to use the Bean Runner Cafe in Peekskill, New York for tonight's filming.
Thank you to Altis for providing us with this platform.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, follow, like, and subscribe.
And we want to remind everybody that we are mothers. We are not professionals. We're sharing our experiences so that you can learn from ours.
See you next time.
Shopping can be very stressful.
Yes.
Online shopping has been wonderful.
He's been kind of just hanging out lately when I take him out with me.
We were kind of told that maybe we might consider another church.
Really?
Because he was making a lot of noise.